Hi everyone. When we think about the best games ever made, dozens of projects come to mind that have captured the hearts of millions of gamers. But behind every one of these masterpieces are the people, the developers, who poured their hearts and souls into their creations. Today, I want to tell you about the best games developed by American studios, exploring how they shaped the industry, left their mark on history, and delivered unforgettable experiences. I want to start with Naughty Dog. This is one of the most respected studios in the gaming industry, known for its emotional storytelling and impeccable quality. Their masterpiece, The Last of Us, forever changed our understanding of what video games could be. It's not just a survival story set in a post-apocalyptic world, it's a tale of love, loss, and hope, brought to life with breathtaking detail. But that's not the only project that made this studio iconic. Before The Last of Us, they gave us the Uncharted series, where protagonist Nathan Drake embarks on thrilling adventures in search of treasures and the secrets of the past. These games captivate with their spectacular action sequences, challenging puzzles, and stunning landscapes. Uncharted feels like an interactive adventure movie, one that elevated the action-adventure genre to new heights. Fun fact, the famous train crash scene in Uncharted 2 was so complex to develop that Naughty Dog spent months on it, but the result was a jaw-dropping moment that became one of the series' most iconic scenes. This studio continues to set the bar for the entire industry, and fans eagerly await their next projects. Rockstar Games are the undisputed kings of open worlds. This studio knows how to craft massive, living worlds that you can lose yourself in. With their iconic series Grand Theft Auto and Red Dead Redemption, Rockstar has proven that game design is an art form. Take Red Dead Redemption 2, for example. It's not just a game, it's an entire world filled with lifelike characters, detailed locations, and an incredible level of immersion. And Grand Theft Auto 5, one of the best-selling games in history, remains wildly popular even years after its release. Developing GTA 5 took over 5 years and had a budget of around $265 million, more than many Hollywood blockbusters. But Rockstar isn't just about action. Their portfolio includes projects like the racing game Midnight Club and the dark, gritty Max Payne 3, which stands out for its noir atmosphere and slow-motion combat mechanics. Insomniac Games is known for its ability to combine incredible action with humor and vibrant visual style. One of their most iconic projects is the Ratchet and Clank series, which debuted on the PlayStation 2. These platformers, filled with humor, captivating worlds, and unique gadgets, quickly won the hearts of players. The latest installment, Rift Apart, showcased the full power of the PlayStation 5 with its instant dimensional shifts and stunning graphics. However, Insomniac made a massive splash with the release of Marvel's Spider-Man. The studio managed to create the best Spider-Man game to date, capturing all the charm of New York City while allowing players to truly feel like a superhero. Its follow-up, Miles Morales, only solidified this success by expanding on the gameplay and delivering a heartwarming, personal story. Irrational Games has always stood out for its ambitious projects, blending immersive atmosphere, deep storytelling, and original gameplay. Their crowning achievement is undoubtedly BioShock. This game introduced us to the captivating underwater city of Rapture, where lofty ideals clashed with human greed. BioShock mesmerizes players with its Art Deco style, philosophical questions about free will, and unexpected plot twists. Fun fact, designing Rapture took years, with the team drawing inspiration from historical photographs of New York City and 1930s architectural styles. Equally impressive was BioShock Infinite, which transported players to Columbia, a city floating among the clouds. This installment explored themes of political utopia and religious fanaticism while refining combat mechanics and narrative techniques. Although the studio closed in 2014, Irrational Games left behind a legacy that continues to inspire developers around the world. In Infinity Ward is the studio that essentially invented the cinematic first-person shooter. Their Call of Duty series began as a classic World War II shooter, but the real breakthrough came with Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. This game shifted the focus to modern combat, offering an intense storyline, dynamic firefights, and a revolutionary multiplayer mode that became the gold standard for years. In 2019, the studio rebooted Modern Warfare, making it even more realistic and impactful. Infinity Ward continued to expand on the success of the Modern Warfare series, captivating millions of players with its blend of gripping storytelling and cutting-edge gameplay. The studio set the benchmark for modern shooters, and their influence is still felt across the genre today. When it comes to the roots of first-person shooters, it's impossible not to mention ID Software. This legendary studio is the birthplace of Doom, Quake, and Wolfenstein games that laid the foundation for the genre. Doom was a groundbreaking release that popularized the shooter genre. Its modern reboots didn't just revive the franchise. They brought adrenaline-fueled gameplay to new heights, making it a hallmark of the studio. Fun fact, many of Doom's mechanics were crafted by hand, and the game's monsters were first sketched on paper before being digitized. Quake was another leap forward, introducing fully 3D graphics and innovative multiplayer modes. Meanwhile, Return to Castle Wolfenstein and its sequels demonstrated how classic games could be reimagined with modern graphics and engaging narratives. ID Software remains synonymous with high-quality shooters. Their games not only set trends but also shape entire generations of gamers, proving that innovation and tradition can go hand in hand. Bethesda Game Studios. When it comes to massive, open-world experiences, Bethesda Game Studios stands as the true king of the genre. Their most iconic series, The Elder Scrolls, has reached cult status. Skyrim offered a completely open world where players could do virtually anything: battle dragons, explore ancient ruins, or even become a thief. The game sold over 30 million copies and still inspires modders more than a decade after its release. Skyrim became so popular that it was ported to nearly every platform imaginable. Another standout series is Fallout, a post-apocalyptic RPG where players can explore radioactive wastelands, build their own settlements, and determine the fate of survivors. Bethesda is known for its incredible attention to detail, creating worlds where every location tells its own story. Obsidian Entertainment has earned a loyal fan base thanks to its deep RPGs with intricate narratives and well-developed characters. One of their most celebrated works is Fallout New Vegas, a game that turned the Fallout franchise into a true RPG classic. New Vegas offered players unparalleled freedom, where every decision shaped the world around them. Many fans consider it the best game in the Fallout series. Fun fact, New Vegas was developed in just 18 months, a record-breaking time frame for such a large-scale project. Later, Obsidian released The Outer Worlds, a sci-fi RPG filled with vibrant characters and a satirical take on corporate-dominated societies. Another notable project is Pillars of Eternity, which revives the spirit of classic isometric RPGs and became one of the most successful crowd-funded projects in gaming history. We can't overlook Bungie, a studio that has shaped the FPS genre. Their most influential work is Halo: Combat Evolved, a game that not only saved the Xbox console from failure, but also set the standard for FPS games on consoles. The story of Master Chief, a super soldier fighting an alien threat, became the foundation for one of gaming's most legendary franchises. After parting ways with Microsoft, Bungie focused on creating another groundbreaking game, Destiny. This ambitious project blended shooter mechanics with RPG elements and online multiplayer. Its sequel, Destiny 2, garnered even more attention with its thrilling raids, unique lore, and continuous updates. Blizzard Entertainment is a studio that doesn't just make games. They define entire eras in the gaming industry. It all began with the RTS classics Warcraft and StarCraft, which became icons of the genre. Warcraft 3, for instance, not only popularized strategic gameplay, but also gave birth to one of the most successful mods in gaming history, Dota, the precursor to the MOBA genre. Blizzard's crowning achievement, however, is World of Warcraft, the most popular MMORPG of all time. This sprawling world with a rich lore captured the hearts of millions, uniting players in raids, PvP battles, and epic quests. At its peak, World of Warcraft had over 12 million subscribers and remained the top MMORPG for more than 15 years. Blizzard also gave us Diablo, a legendary action RPG series. With Diablo 2, the studio perfected the formula, while Diablo 3 made the genre more accessible to a broader audience. Santa Monica Studio is synonymous with one of PlayStation's most celebrated franchises, God of War. The first game, released in 2005, was an instant hit thanks to its thrilling combat and a deep story rooted in Greek mythology. However, the true revolution came in 2018 with the reboot of God of War. This game transported Kratos into Norse mythology and portrayed him in a new light, as a father fighting to protect his son. The reboot became one of the most critically acclaimed games of all time, winning dozens of awards, including Game of the Year. Its sequel, Ragnarok, released in 2022, expanded this epic tale even further, cementing Santa Monica Studio as a powerhouse in the gaming world. Bend Studio might not be the largest name in the industry, but their work deserves recognition. Their standout project is Days Gone, a survival game set in a post-apocalyptic world teeming with zombie hordes. Days Gone stands out with its atmospheric setting, thrilling battles against massive enemy swarms, and the heartfelt story of Deacon St. John, a biker searching for his lost wife. Before Days Gone, Bend Studio worked on notable projects like Syphon Filter, a spy action series that once rivaled Metal Gear Solid. Valve is a legendary studio that has defined several genres and reshaped gaming. Their masterpiece, Half-Life, revolutionized FPS games with its Source engine and the unforgettable story of Gordon Freeman. Valve also created Portal, a unique puzzle game with portals. Interestingly, Portal began as a student project that Valve noticed and developed into a full-fledged game. Other hits include Left 4 Dead, one of the best cooperative zombie games, and Dota 2, which became a mobile leader and elevated esports to a new level. Beyond their games, Valve launched Steam, the platform that transformed how games are distributed and purchased. Ensemble Studios gifted the world one of the most iconic real-time strategy games, Age of Empires. The series stood out for its historical detail, allowing players to control civilizations from ancient empires to the Age of Exploration. Age of Empires 2 remains a genre classic and is still beloved today, thanks to remasters and competitive tournaments. Another notable project was Halo Wars, which brought the beloved Halo universe into the RTS format, a fresh and successful experiment. Though Ensemble Studios closed in 2009, their games left a lasting impact on the industry and continue to inspire strategy fans. Supergiant Games. This indie studio has risen to stardom in just a few years, becoming a beacon of innovation in the gaming industry. Their first hit, Bastion, captivated players with its dynamic narrative, where a narrator comments on every action. Next came Transistor, a futuristic action RPG with a deep story and a unique combat system that blends real-time action with tactical strategy. Supergiant's most ambitious project, Hades, combined the best elements of their previous games. Set in Greek mythology, this roguelike is praised for its narrative depth. Even after dozens of attempts, the game continues to reveal more about its characters, their motivations, and their relationships. Hades proves that a small studio can create a world-class game and set a benchmark for the industry. Firaxis Games has taken turn-based strategy to new heights with iconic series like Civilization and XCOM. The Civilization series celebrates the evolution of human history, allowing players to guide their civilizations from the Stone Age to space exploration, balancing diplomacy, science, and warfare. Firaxis also breathed new life into tactical strategy with their XCOM reboot. XCOM, Enemy Unknown, and XCOM 2 deliver tense battles against alien invaders, where every decision matters and mistakes can cost your soldiers their lives. Visceral Games gave the world one of the most terrifying and atmospheric experiences in gaming, Dead Space. This sci-fi horror game, set aboard an abandoned spaceship, was groundbreaking with its innovative interface design. Every UI element, from health to ammo, was seamlessly integrated into the protagonist's suit, enhancing immersion. Although Visceral Games shut down in 2017, their legacy lives on. The 2023 Dead Space remake proved just how impactful the original game was, reminding fans of the studio's immense contributions to the horror genre. Maxis is the studio that gave us the iconic The Sims series and many other simulation-related projects. Their first major hit was SimCity, a city-building simulator that allowed players to create and manage their own cities. The success of SimCity led to an even more ambitious project, The Sims, a life simulation game. Originally, The Sims was conceived as a house-building simulator, but the focus shifted to managing characters after positive feedback from testers. Maxis also experimented with ideas, releasing Spore, a game where players create and evolve their own creature, starting at a microscopic level and progressing to an intergalactic civilization. Telltale Games revolutionized the genre of narrative-driven adventures by focusing on player choice and its consequences. Their biggest hit, The Walking Dead, told a deeply emotional story and won numerous awards, including Game of the Year. Every player choice affected the storyline, making each decision incredibly tense. In addition to The Walking Dead, Telltale released many other notable projects, such as The Wolf Among Us, a dark detective story set in the comic universe of Fables, and Tales from the Borderlands, which provided a fresh, humorous take on the Borderlands universe. Telltale Games featured a system that tracked player decisions, allowing you to see how your choices compared to others. Although the studio shut down in 2018, its legacy continues to inspire developers, and a revamped Telltale team is now working on new projects. Respawn Entertainment, a studio known for crafting world-class shooters like Apex Legends and Titanfall, surprised everyone when they took on a Star Wars game. Here, players step into the role of a young Jedi hiding from the Empire after Order 66. The gameplay combines elements of action-adventure, platforming, and challenging combat reminiscent of Souls-like games. As players travel across various planets, they learn new abilities, solve puzzles, and face powerful enemies. One of the game's standout features is its visual style and atmosphere, which captures the spirit of the original Star Wars trilogy. A fantastic soundtrack and attention to detail made the Star Wars Jedi series a true gift for fans of the franchise. Respawn Entertainment has shown they can excel not only in the shooter genre, but also in creating captivating single-player adventures that expand a beloved universe. Arcane Studios are masters of immersive sims, known for creating unique worlds with high levels of interactivity. One of their crowning achievements is the Dishonored series. These games offer players a wide variety of ways to complete objectives, from stealth to direct confrontation. The dark world, inspired by the Victorian era, and the unique abilities of the characters made this series a massive hit. Dishonored also introduced AI that remembered the player's actions and adapted to their playstyle. Next, Arcane impressed everyone with Prey, a sci-fi shooter with survival elements. Players had to face mysterious creatures using innovative gadgets and unique powers. Their recent project, Deathloop, continued Arcane's tradition by offering a fresh concept involving time loops and a stylish art design. NetherRealm Studios is the team behind one of the most famous and brutal fighting franchises, Mortal Kombat. Starting as an arcade game in 1992, Mortal Kombat became legendary thanks to its brutal fatalities and exciting combat. Mortal Kombat 10 and Mortal Kombat 11 not only retained the spirit of the original games, but also elevated them to new heights with cinematic story modes and improved graphics. Additionally, NetherRealm successfully explored superhero themes with the Injustice series, where players could battle as their favorite DC Comics characters, such as Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman. These games are just a small part of what American developers have contributed to the gaming industry. Behind each of these projects lies the hard work of thousands of people, incredible ideas, and a willingness to take risks. Perhaps one of these games even changed your life. Share in the comments which of these games you loved the most and which ones you think we missed. If you enjoyed this topic, give it a like, and I'll continue exploring iconic studios from around the world that have shaped the gaming industry. The Image Game Channel was with you. Have a nice day.